let me just begin with you talking a little bit more about your son. I know Quintonio, I understand he ran a marathon for charity, helping raise money for children in Africa. He was an honors engineering student in college. Can you help us get to know him a little bit more?
At this point, Ms. Brooke, he was everything you just spoke of and more. He was a kind, generous son who always contribute nothing but the utmost respect for all people. His age, older, he was the model kid, with wasn't perfect, but he was that type of kid that would respect anyone of authority. And he was a great son, the perfect son for me. He was the great son. He worked with me. I have my own business. He worked with me, and I developed him to be an independent son, and he was a great son.
Can you now take me back to Saturday? You were the one who called police on your son.
Yes.
Can you first just tell me why?
I heard a loud bang at my bedroom door, and I can only assume it was my son because only him and I was in the house. And when I thought about it, I was asleep. When I woke up and I thought about it, after a second banging on the door, I received a phone and called the police department because I wasn't equipped with being able to understand how to deal with my angry son at that time, because I figured the police would know better how to handle an angry situation that my teenage son was going through. So I called the police.
Can I ask you about that without, divulging personal information? When you talk about, your son was angry, you told the Chicago Sun-Times that he had some anger issues, emotional problems. When you, just knowing that, as you would, as a father would know about his son, did you relay that when you called 911?
At this point, I can't remember what I said exactly, and I know that when the call was made, I had just been awoken from a sleep, so I'm not sure exactly what I said, and at this point in time, I can't remember.
Okay, so you know that your son, you believe he has this bat, he's banging on your door at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, you're aroused from sleep, you call your neighbor, Betty Jones, essentially, and correct me if I'm wrong, but saying, listen, I'm calling police, let them come in when they arrive. Tell me what happened once police arrived at your home.
Well, Ms. Brooke, in all fairness, I was in the bedroom, and after calling 911, I called Ms. Jones to indicate that there was some noise in the house and that she was not to open her door because I'm not sure exactly what was going on while I waited for the police to come. I only did it out of concern for her and her family's safety.
And then police arrive, and what happened?
I heard a noise, which was a voice saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," to my knowledge. I can't accurately remember, but it was along those lines. And I proceeded down the staircase from my apartment on the second level. And as I got a quarter of the way down the staircase, I heard gunshots. I stopped at that point in time because I didn't know for sure where those shots were coming from. And after that, the gunshot stopped. I proceeded further down the stairs, displaying my hands, indicating that I'm sorry, Miss Brooke.
No, I'm
indicating
sorry.
I'm so sorry, give me 1 second. Indicating that I was the father and I was the one that called. And when I got to the bottom of the steps, I noticed the lower torso at first of someone in a stance in the grass. I did not know clearly if he was an officer or who he might have been. And as I got to the bottom of the stairs on the landing, I recognized someone standing there, dark hair, light skin, Spanish or perhaps Caucasian race. and I noticed the gesture. I can't believe it. I thought he was coming at me with that bat. F, the word F, no, no, twice was yelled. I proceeded to look to my right, and I saw my son laying there. And I saw his legs, and he was approximately 3 feet inside Miss Jones's doorway. And I wanted to reach down and grab him, but I wasn't trained in CPR or anything, so I didn't know exactly what to do except call out to him to let him know that I was there. Because my son, oh, please forgive me, Miss Brooks. My son was laying there, and he was still alive and moving. And no one at all assisted him at any time while he was there. And at which point I looked back and saw Miss Jones laying there. And once again, yelled, screamed as loud as I can. Someone get an ambulance. Someone to help my son. That's all I could think to say. At that time, an officer approached me and asked me, was anyone else in the unit upstairs? And I replied no. And he walked past me and he went into the unit. And I proceeded to continue to stand there and request an ambulance assistance or some police assistance to assist my son. Because I know he's still alive. I see him moving, but no one would reply to help my son or Miss Jones. And at this point, an officer approached me and asked me, what's going on? Calm down. And I replied, that's my son. Get him some assistance. And no one did anything. Once the paramedics approached the porch, they proceeded onto the porch. And I look back in the hallway and I see them dragging my son out, not to roll him over to give him a CPR, but just to pull him out and put him on the gurney and roll him away. No one administered CPR at any point. No one. At this point, I didn't know what to say or what to do as I saw my son and Miss Jones be rolled away with no one assisting him. I begged, I plead that they assist them with CPR, yet no one assisted them at all. And all I can do was say, why my son? And everyone's looking at me. And all I can think is, why did this have to happen? I don't know why.